We have been here because we get some tactical news. I don't know, something is going on here. Good evening, guys, and I hope everyone is doing good. Victoria, how are you doing? Thunderlight, thank you so much, brother. Henry Official, thank you so much, bro. Good evening to all of you. No matter anywhere you are watching me right now, I extend my greetings to everyone. Lamin Sar, you're highly welcome. Guys, we are coming. I'm sorry, guys. I just need to set up something here. Thank you. Thank you, guys, for being with me here as I finish setting up here. And today we are going to talk about something that is very tangible, and I think it will be good for all Africans to listen. Once we have so many topics today to talk about, but first of all, I'm going to start with the European Union trying to launch their civil military bases in Africa. And we are going to read whatever is on it, and we are going to emphasize on it, as we always do. We read whatever they wrote, or we read their intentions, and we emphasize on it to Africans, to let Africans know that what is going on. or what plan do they have they made? Because a lot of Africans may think like EU and America putting their military bases in Africa is a help. They want to help us. They want to help Africa. They want to conquer the terrorists for Africa. They want to conquer the bandit for Africa. So as we all know, EU, European Union, to launch civil military missions in West Africa, especially, they just differentiated West Africa. Yeah, because I will remind you of these South Africans. They have an American military base, and still South Africa never get themselves. So South Africa can never argue with America because America already have their militaries in South Africa. They don't, if they have problem with South Africa, they don't need to send militaries. They already have militaries. But I never see South African militaries in America. And I never see South African military base in America. Not only South Africa, but none of we, the African countries, have our military base in European countries or America or UK. So I think Africans, we need to think that part. In Africa, we never have an African military base that we put in European borders or in American borders or in UK borders, but they have the effronteries to come to Africa, trying to put military bases in Africa. Who asked them for help? Do we ask them for help? Come on, let me read this for you, my peoples. Military activities from extremist groups, links to Islamic states and Al-Qaeda, as rock countries such as Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. In recent years, the European Union is set to launch a new mission in West Africa in the fall. A combined military-civilians operations aimed to prevent instability strategies by jihadist group. Let me just emphasize on here. Why do they put jihadist group this, that? It's a lie. Come on, we don't have any jihadist group. If we have any jihadist group, the jihadist group were created by the West. They were the people who created the jihadist group in Africa. They call them terrorists. In the name of number one, they want to destroy the name of Islamic. Number two, they want to form a terrorist group in Africa so that they could find a way to get themselves into Africa. Number three, they want to find a way to steal African resources. These are three reasons I will tell you today. These are three reasons that make them to say that we are going there, we are putting our military bases to fight against this jihadist group in Africa. The jihadist group, who are those jihadist group? Those jihadist group are unknown Muslims. They are not Muslims. But who put them to put the name on them as Muslims is Western peoples, Europeans. Europeans employ those terrorists in Africa and try to put the name on them as a Muslim. In the name of, they want to destroy the name of Muslim, they want to destroy Africa, and they are pretending to us that they are going there to fight those people. I think there was a time when Mali made a coup, Europeans were saying that Mali is going against the human right of the terrorists, when Mali was fighting against the terrorists. This is what European Union says, that Mali is going against human right of the terrorists, peoples who are killing peoples. And now the militaries wake up to fight against them. They said that European Union say Mali is going against human right because Mali was fighting against the terrorists. So today that same European Union is telling us that they want to go and put their military base in Africa to fight against those same terrorists. Why? They just want to go and recruit another terrorist group. And we are coming to the secret, my brothers and sisters. I have a big topic here that I also need to discuss, a big top of secret I also need to discuss with Africans. Let's continue reading. EU foreign minister will announce the starting of the civil military mission in the meeting in Luxembourg in October. This October coming. The World Sultan's newspaper has learned. Okay. Let's read. DW report that the mission in the Gulf of Guinea in West Africa will be with the police and soldiers deployed to Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Ivory Coast. As we are already seeing, Ghana have already sent their invitation that they want to be part of it. Ivory Coast have done it. Benin have done it. So these people are the countries they are going to use. Ivory Coast, Benin, Ghana, they are going to use these countries to put their military bases And if these countries allow it, we have a problem. Do you know? Because they will employ terrorist groups to fight against Niger, to fight against Mali, to fight against Burkina. Every country that make a coup, they will employ terrorist group to go and destroy those countries. I am the one who tell you this. If Ghana, that's why I don't like Ghana president. Ivory Coast, the same thing. Benin, the same thing. I don't like these peoples. I don't like their leaders. Let's read and go. Senior EU diplomatic who are familiar with the planning told the German paper that the mission stems from concerns of the EU that jihadist group couldn't extend their activities in West Africa from the Sahel region to the southern coastal countries of the Gulf of Guinea. Who are the jihadists? And who employ the jihadists? Who pay the jihadists? Who supply the jihadists in Africa with a weapon? Who supply them? Who supply Boko Haram? What did Boko Haram say to Nigeria? We are Muslims. Allah Akbar. We are Muslims. That's what Boko Haram always shout. And taking Quran, whether it's a fake Quran they take, because you can't play with real Quran. But what did Boko Haram do? And who supply Boko Haram? Come on, Boko Haram, none of them are Muslims. None of them, nobody in Boko Haram that is Muslim, but they just put them there. It's the West that put them there and give them that name in the name of to destroy the name of Muslim, Islam. That is the West. So any criminal activities, so that people will say it's Muslims who are doing criminal activities. Muslims are the terrorists. And that is what the world is saying today. The world always say that Muslims are the terrorists. Because the West have employed their own terrorists and named the terrorist group as a Muslims. So today Boko Haram, when they killed, they said, we want them to convert to Islam. So if anybody don't agree, we murder them. Why? Because that's what the West told them to do. That's what the West is planning. The West plan is that. So if they said the jihadists, the EU is trying to put their military base in Africa to deal with the jihadists. Come on, those jihadists are employed by themselves. So Africa should not allow EU to employ or deploy their own military bases in Africa. We don't need their military base. If, let me finish reading, then I will go into that. Let me finish reading first. Let me finish reading this rubbish application that they wrote here. According to the paper, the missions will be arms to train and advise local security forces, help proper for anti-terror operation, giving technical support and implement confidence building measures in the security sectors. The report further noted that the reason behind the planned mission is the EU concern that Islamist group could extend their activities in the West Africa from Sahel zone toward the southern coastal countries on the Gulf of Guinea, leading to even more widespread instability in the region. Militant activity from extremist groups linked to Islamic states and Al-Qaeda has rocked countries such as Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso in recent years. Let me just emphasize on Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Whatever terrorist group they were having, let me emphasize on that. I will emphasize on the terrorist group in Niger, because before coup will come to Niger, before Niger militaries will do a coup, I have made a video saying that NATO have their camp in Niger and European Union have their soldiers in Niger, and they employ terrorists to kill Nigerian citizens. I think someone from Niger have always watched me when I was saying that before the coup will happen in Niger. Before the coup will happen, I was talking about that. And let me start with Niger to emphasize on the terrorist group they are talking about in Niger. Who employ? It's the European Union. I'm not going to say it's the West. No, not all the West, but European Union and NATO. Whatever terrorist group we have in Niger before terrorizing that country, killing innocent peoples, they were all employed by European Union and NATO. And European Union and NATO and France soldiers were in Niger. They couldn't do nothing about it, but the only thing they were doing is to steal the uranium and the other natural resources in Niger, to make Niger to remain in poverty and to remain in fear. That's why they employed those terrorist groups in Niger. And that was caused by European Union, NATO, and France. Because France soldiers were there. European Union militaries were there in Niger when these terrorists were terrorized in Niger. NATO soldiers were there. So all these three peoples, this three set up group, they were in Niger. They have their soldiers. NATO have their soldiers. EU have their soldiers. France have their soldiers in Niger, and terrorists were terrorizing. They couldn't stop it. Now, because Niger go out, because Africa is getting themselves, freeing themselves. Africa is untying themselves from the hand of the Europeans. Now they are saying, we want to form our military base. It will never happen. I'm the one who said it. If it happened, then I said there will be war between Russia and EU. I'm the one who said it. If it happened, there will be a problem between Russia and EU. This is what Vladimir Putin is trying to stop. This rubbish they are doing. If you go to South Africa today, why Vladimir Putin faced South Africa? Because Americans have their naval base, their military bases in South Africa, Botswana. This is what Vladimir Putin is fighting against. And we are going to go. Let's talk about which place? Let's talk about Mali. Since they said these are the countries who are suffering in the hand of the jihadists. Mali, the jihadists in Mali, the former president of Mali, Ibrahim, when he was there, France have their militaries in Mali. They have their military base in Mali. When Ibrahim was ruling, before Assimi Goïta will make a coup to bring down Ibrahim. When Ibrahim was ruling, Ibrahim is a puppet to the West. And Ibrahim was always listening to what France say, and he always do what France says. And France have their own militaries in that place, and France supplied the terrorists in the northern part of Mali to kill innocent peoples, murder innocent peoples, and to terrorize them, while France soldiers were busy stealing the natural resources of Mali, the oil, the gas, the platinum, everything you know of as resources, they were stealing it from Mali. So when Mali militaries were fighting against the terrorists, Mali soldiers were complaining that they don't have enough weapons to fight against those terrorists because the terrorists have more weapons more than them. What was the reply from EU? EU says, since Mali is attacking those terrorists, Mali is against the human right. They are going against the human right of those terrorists. Those terrorists also have a human right. So European Union, they have the right, the effrontery to fight the right, the human right of the terrorists, but they can't fight the right of innocent peoples in Mali. But they were complaining that Mali soldiers were fighting against those terrorists. So they are going against human rights by fighting against the terrorists in Mali. This was a response from EU directly. And EU journalists were going into the terrorists in the bush to interview them. If they were not the one who employed them, why do they have access to go and interview them? A terrorist, a white man, a EU journalist will leave Europe and go to Africa to go Mali in the bush to go with the terrorists alone and interview them if they were not the one who employed them. How do the journalists have the terrorist number to communicate them if the EU was not the one who employed the terrorists in Africa? Now you are telling us you want to go and be your military bases. You know, sometimes when they speak, Africa, that's why always whenever they bring any kind of application like this, I need to emphasize on it more to let Africans know what is their plan. We will come to what is their plan. What plan are they trying to make? We will come to it. You know. So let's talk about Burkina Faso. Since these are the three countries they mentioned, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. These are the three countries they mentioned. They said these three countries are suffering in the hand of the jihadists. So now let's talk about Burkina Faso also. Burkina Faso also was having a war, was having a conflict with the terrorists. And the terrorist group was deployed by France, was employed. They were employed. Those terrorists were employed by France government in Burkina Faso to make sure that they unstable Burkina Faso, to save Burkina Faso so that Burkina Faso citizens will be living in a fear and they will go closer to where the resources are. And France was having their militaries in Niger, in Burkina Faso at the same time. So, you know, when we came to the conclusion with the Africans, we need to ask ourselves some question, very simple question. Do we, the Africans, ever send our militaries to European borders or European countries to go and have a military base there? Do we ever try it? Even if we try, are they going to accept it? Never. So why are we allowing a white man who enslaved our forefathers, who murdered our forefathers, raped our forefathers, is coming today to tell you that he want to build his military base, he want to help you? A white man, the same white man who was killing you, murdering you, killing your innocent peoples, destroying you, stealing from you, is now telling you that he want to save you. Will you believe it? Someone who have murdered your forefathers, enslaved your forefathers, steal from you, destroy all your future generations' materials, resources. Now he's telling you that he want to protect you. Since you get angry, you said no more ruling. We want to rule ourselves. Now they are telling you we want to help you. Oh, now they know where to help. They are not helping any African country. If any African country accept the European military bases in Africa, I tell you that country will end up being in conflict. I'm the one who said it today. Mark my word also today. Mark it today, and we will come and repeat it later. Because whatever I said will come to pass. Any African country, any West African country that accept the EU military bases in their country, that country will end up being in conflict that can never be finished. A conflict that will be more than the conflict that happened in Libya. Believe me. Can't you see now, EU cannot stay without Africa? And let's talk about ECOWAS. My people, I want to tell you this secret today. And I want you all to focus on this secret. You know what happened? You know, last time when I made a video about ECOWAS, I told you that they pay Bola Tinubu. They pay all of them. They give money to ECOWAS to invade Niger. You know, I told you that last time. Okay, my people, the secret have come out to let, you know, as a evidence of whatever I say, I'm not lying to Africans. Let me tell you, the money they give to ECOWAS, why ECOWAS couldn't invade right now? Why ECOWAS is no more talking about invasion or invading another country that make a coup? Why? Do you know why? Because ECOWAS leaders are now in conflict. The leaders in ECOWAS are now fighting against each other. Why are they fighting against each other, my brothers and sisters? Please, this thing is very funny. The money that the France and EU gather together and give to ECOWAS in Africa to invade Niger, that money, to only two leaders share that money. That is Akufo-Addo, Ghana president, and this guy, and Bola Tinubu. They are the two people who are keeping this money. The other leaders are now asking for their own share. Gambian president was complaining about his own share. Cameroon president was complaining about his own share. Sierra Leone president was complaining about his own share. So all these people are asking for their own share from ECOWAS. If not, there will be no invasion in Niger anymore. You see now? You see what they do? They betray Africa. Now they are betraying each other. You cannot betray 3 million people and you expect to stay when you people will not betray each other. You are all greedy. You can see, as you can see, all the leaders in ECOWAS, they are all greedy. They are all greedy. You see the greediness, they take it upon each other right now. Now they are in conflict. That's why you never had any meeting of ECOWAS anymore. Their last meeting was in Ghana, Accra. Ghana president and Bola Tinubu is holding that money that the West give to ECOWAS to fight against Niger. The West pay you to fight against your brother. Now you are fighting against each other because of that money, because you are both greedy. Now can't you see? Gambian president, can't you put your senses together? You see, you have no money. You are the one who was parading. You go to Gambia in the airport. They say, oh, Gambian president, how was the ECOWAS meeting? We do the meeting and we fix the date. We have the date. And we are going to invade. If they don't restore Bosom into power because it's the democratic leader and we are going to invade. Now you don't have money. You are complaining, I need my own share. So you think you are wise. You are not going to get dime from that money. I'm the one who tell you, you cannot betray Gambians. You cannot betray the whole Africa and you expect that God is going to bless you or God is going to favor you. It can never happen. Cameroonian president, when Cameroonians are crying, suffering, a fool like you is sitting down there. You couldn't control your own country. You are fighting for the West to get a successful stealing in Niger. When Cameroon is in mess, Cameroon was in mess. Cameroon is shared into two parts. The English Anglophone part and the only one country is shared into two parts. Anglophone part and Francophone part. In Cameroon, the Francophone part and the Anglophone part. That's the problem that Cameroon is having right now. Since 2019, that problem started I've started talking about that problem since 2019 in Cameroon. And still the same problem Cameroon is having right now. The Anglophone part, they are employing terrorists there to murder them, innocent citizens, because they speak English in Cameroon. Because that is caused by France. France is employing terrorists in the Anglophone part in Cameroon to terrorize those people. In 2019, what happened there? They have more than many citizens there. Innocent citizens, kill all of them. That was caused by France. France was employing terrorists in that part of Cameroon. And now Cameroon president, you betray Cameroon, betray the whole Africa. Now you think God is going to favor you. You are also asking for your own share. When I said it here, I made a video saying that The West have paid ECOWAS to fight against Niger. What do the ECOWAS chairman say? Not the ECOWAS chairman, the ECOWAS commissioner. What did he say in Ghana? In Ghana, he was in a meeting. That fool, he think like he can fool we. You cannot fool us. I already know what I said. I never just come to media to say something that I don't know of. I know that the West have paid you. EU and France put money together. I am sitting in EU, so whatever they do, I know. EU is never telling you that they already make it very popular that they have paid you people. And you people think like it's a secret. EU pay you in secret. No, EU have already told the whole world that they paid you to invade Niger. So if you, the African leaders, are thinking that EU is paying you in secret, no, they don't pay. They pay you, they give you the money in secret. But go to their own parliament, they make it very clear to their citizens that we pay Africans to kill each other, to fight against each other. So when EU paid them, I made a video, I said, EU have paid the African ECOWAS to fight against Niger. That idiot, the European, the ECOWAS commissioner in Africa, when he was talking in a meeting in Ghana, Accra, what did he say? He said, no, they didn't pay us, and rumors are going in the media. So many people are making videos in the media saying that EU paid us, EU didn't pay us. But now you people are fighting because of that money. You don't even feel ashamed to come out to ask for your own share of that money when you said they didn't pay you. You people think we are fools. Let's go. If you depend on the West, I tell you about white man, you the African foolish leaders will not listen. When I tell you about white man, who white man is not stupid. He will make you the Africans to murder each other each and every day and sit in their own country here and laugh at Africa and call Africa a war zone. You don't understand it, that white man, they want to depopulate Africa, number one. They want to make sure that Africa remain in the state of poverty where they are today, or to even increase the poverty on Africans. But they never want to see Africa developing or having any project that can bring development to Africa. But you, the foolish leaders, are not understanding. I sit here and explain white man to you, that white man is your enemy. Never see Europe, America, UK. They are not your friends. They are not the friend of Africa, and we should not have any business to do with these countries or this continent. We should not have any business to do with them. When you are a leader in Africa and you want, allow the Western peoples to call you a dictator, allow them to call you a bad leader in Africa, because if they call you a bad leader, we who study them, we know that you are a good leader for Africa. We will know that you are protecting your own peoples. That's why they call you a bad leader. Because they can only call a leader in Africa a bad leader when that leader is standing and defending his own peoples. That is the West. The West will only call you an illiterate or dictator or bad leader or a moderate leader in Africa if you are standing and defending for your own peoples. But as far as you maltreat your people, they say, oh, you are a good president, a democratic president. But the West never have democracy. Do you ever see European citizens going to do demonstrations saying that, hey, we need democracy? Do you ever see them doing it? Do you ever see in America people are doing demonstrations saying that we need democracy? Do you ever see in UK they do demonstrations saying that we need democracy? But you, the Africans, are there. I see African citizens shouting, saying that, oh, we need democracy leader. We need democratic leader. You don't even know what is going on in the world. Why are you people so foolish? Why? They paid you just to go and do demonstration on the streets to say that we need Bazoum, we need Bazoum. Who is Bazoum to you? What did Bazoum do for you? You yourself know that you are a fool by saying that word on the street. Because they paid you. Because ECOWAS have paid you. Paid some youths. They pay them to go on the street. They think that we don't know. ECOWAS think like we don't know, because every African youth was saying that we need it, this is good. We don't need Bazoum again. Even Niger citizens were shouting, we don't need Bazoum again. They go and take some Niger citizens and some Ghanaian citizens, youths, and put them together and pay them to go on the street and shout and say, we want Bazoum. So that the European, they will send that video to the Europeans. I know your plans. You can't plan anything in that continent that I don't know. To sit in from morning to night to study that continent, that is my work. I don't have any other work. The only work I have in my life right now, to focus on that continent, to make sure that everything that goes wrong or go right in that continent, let me know it. So you cannot do anything in that continent and you said Pandi MAICA will not know. But today, they are fighting against each other. People will not understand. They give you just chicken change to ECOWAS. Go and invade Niger. But they don't understand this, that what Europeans, they are not calculating this. What Europeans, what the Westerners are stealing from Niger. How much is that? Niger income in 2023 was the gross GDP. Niger GDP was almost like 16 billion. 16 billion in this 2023. Niger GDP. If people don't know what is GDP, means the gross domestic product. The gross domestic product. That is GDP. Niger GDP was almost 16 billion. 16.712 billion. More than even that. Niger GDP. Dollar I'm talking about, not France CFA, but $16 billion. What they are stolen from Niger in this 2023, I'm telling you, how much is Niger GDP? But African Union is not calculating that. African ECOWAS is not calculating that. They are only calculating their selfish interest, greedy peoples sitting in that office and calling themselves African Union or ECOWAS. We are ECOWAS members. We are African Union members. We are the Parliament of African Union. What have you done for Africa? You cannot even come out to give a proper speech to the West to let them know that Africa is not their own and Africa can never be their own. Africans and African resources belongs to Africa. And Africa itself and the resources of Africa belongs to Africans. You cannot let them know that. You cannot let them know this. The countries that are under control of France, let's count them. Countries that France was tormenting. The countries that France was tormenting was 11 countries in West Africa. 11 countries. Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea. We go to Ivory Coast, Mali, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad, part of Cameroon. The Anglophone countries that was controlled by America and UK were how many countries in West Africa? Well, like I think 6 countries. That was like the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, and part of Cameroon. In West Africa, we have these countries that have been controlled by America and UK. But we are not calculating whatever is going on. Since this country was, France was controlling 11 countries, or 13 countries, I think. 13, or I think it's 11. 11 countries France was controlling in West Africa. Among that 11 countries, how many go out? Guinea go out. Mali go out. Burkina Faso go out. Niger go out. 4 countries go out. How many countries left? So this is why France is crying. Let me tell you, my peoples. France, I tell you that we cannot go away from the Westerners without having a conflict with them. People may think that is violent. No, it's not a violent. There's no violence. I'm not in support of any violence. But there cannot be a freedom in Africa without having a conflict with West. We must go blow to blow or blood to blood, bullet to bullet with West. That's the time we will get ourselves. I tell you this. Look, when all these countries make a coup in Africa, now they see that the coup in West Africa is getting worse and worse. What do they plan now? We want to form our military base. We are telling peoples that we don't want you anymore. We don't want you peoples in Africa. Now they are telling us we want to put our military base. Are they deaf? Are the Western peoples deaf? They are not hearing what we are saying? We said, Africa says, we don't want Western peoples anymore. Are they deaf? They are not understanding that language. In which language we should explain to them that we don't want them? The only language they understand, that is bullet to bullet, blood to blood, soul to soul. That is the only language that the West understand. If Africans don't understand this, we are in a mess. If we want to go dialogue with the West, no, there is no dialogue with a white man. You cannot dialogue with a white man. It's impossible. That's why do you see Vladimir Putin doing dialogue with them? Before, let me tell you this something here. I would want Western peoples, they are all their European prime ministers, even UK prime minister, American president, the photocopy president in America, Joe Biden. I would want them to listen to me very well. Let me tell them this. And let me call them criminals. And let me tell them that they are thieves and criminals and murderers. Because before they will jump up to Africa, we don't have any war in Africa. We are very stable. We are very okay without the West. But Ukraine is not okay without the West. You put Ukraine into war. Before you will take your military base into Africa, take your military base to Ukraine. If you are not afraid to die, if you are not afraid, if you want to stop something, or you want to defend some peoples, go and defend Ukraine, because you people push Ukraine into war. Now you sit here, you turn your back on Ukraine, you are facing Africa. Don't face Africa, because we don't have any business with you peoples. The Westerners, especially Europeans, European Union, before you will form your military base in Africa, European Union should form their military base in Ukraine. Go and help Ukraine, because you people push Ukraine into war. EU push Ukraine into war. And America and UK. But today you people are sitting here telling us rubbish. Before you will face Africa, turn your back on Africa, because we don't want you. But Ukraine, who is calling you, come and help us, come and help us, you are running away from them. Africa say, we don't want you, you are forcing yourself on us. Why? Just calculated by us. Why? We said we don't want them. And Ukraine is always calling on to EU to come into their rescue. They refuse. They refuse to send their militaries. When their militaries go, they stop in the border to give Ukraine water and blanket. The only thing EU was giving to Ukraine was blanket and water. You couldn't help them. And they are the people who push Ukraine into this mess. Now you are going to Africa. That's why I tell Africa, the only way to get out, to deal with West, to let them leave us alone, is blood to blood, bullet to bullet, soul to soul. That is the only language they understand. They don't understand dialogue. You can't dialogue with an animal like Western peoples. You can't dialogue with them. They don't hear dialogue. They don't hear that language. The only language they hear is when you started murdering their peoples. When you murder 100 people here, you murder 100 there, they understand that language. Nobody will tell them where is the role to leave Africa. I am telling you. Nobody will tell them where is the role to leave Africa, to get away from Africa. They push Ukraine into war. Ukraine is in this painful conflict. They are the cause of it. The EU we are talking about here, European Union, who is lamenting, we want to make military bases in Africa. The same EU make Ukraine to go into war, refuse to send their militaries to Ukraine. Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, Denmark, Spain, they are all sitting down. The only thing they could give to Ukraine is blanket and water and food. They are the people who push Ukraine into war. European Union. Before you, European Union, that is a message to European Union. Before they will take their military base to Africa, let them take their military base to Ukraine and help Ukraine. You can't help Africa. We are the one helping you. We help you. We feed you. You can't help us. You can't help your helper. It's not possible. We don't need your help. You know, they form themselves like they want to go and help Africa. Instead of to calm yourself down and say, Africa, we are begging you to help us. Instead of for you to say that you are telling the world that we want to go and help Africa. What do you help Africa for? Do you build factories for Africa? Do you choose any better life for Africans? Instead, you before to choose better life for them, you were given brutal life for Africans. Unstable life for Africans. Now you are standing in front of the world. We want to form a military base to help Africans to conquer those terrorists, while those terrorists were employed by you in Africa to make sure that you make Africa unstable and to make sure that Africa remain in poverty and in fear and in hunger. You, the Westerners, create that. You create those rubbish peoples in Africa to make sure that you unstable Africa. Because if Africa is stable, no terrorists, no this, no stealing, Africa is going to benefit from their resources. So you have to make Africans to focus on war and to fear of their lives. Run away from their own countries while you are going there to steal. You make we Africans to run away from our countries. You go there to steal our resources. When you empty any country, you do your hand like this and run away. We are saying that one is over. You cannot help your helpers. Africa is a helper. Africa is a helper to the West. So the West cannot help Africa if we don't help the West. The West cannot feed Africa if we don't feed the West. We feed you, my brothers and sisters. We feed them. Do you know how much of pain I have inside me that we were feeding these people since 400 years ago? But that same Africa that is feeding these peoples, that same Africa refused to feed its own peoples. That same Africa that feed the West for 400 years, that same Africa is still refusing to feed its own peoples. That's why we are trying to make sure that now this Africa feeds its own peoples. No more hunger in Africa. No more terrorism in Africa. No more Western puppets or Western peoples in Africa. No more Western militaries in Africa. No more Western military bases in Africa. That's what we want to close. Because we don't have our African military base in Western countries. We don't have it. And we can never have the chance to build our own African military base in Western countries. We cannot have the chance. Even if we want to do it, they will say, no, we don't agree. What are you coming to do here? But we ask you, what are you going to do in Africa? You say to help us. We say we don't need your help. You still want to go. Why? France, now Niger is fighting conflict. By force, leave my country, no. But if France want any black people to live in their country, they deport them back. They don't ask you leave my country. They hang off you and put you in the plane and chain you like a slave and send you back to your country. I will take that blame and give that blame to the Nigerian militaries. Why are you asking France embassy to leave? Why? Why are you asking him? Instead of to make action on him, you are asking him. That country belongs to Nigerians. And it belongs to Africa. It doesn't belong to France. So if the Nigerian military say France military should leave and they refuse to leave, the only thing to happen, buy him. Murder him. Why? What are you waiting for? Buy that man. That's the time France will get sense. They cannot hear the language of telling them, leave our country. No. The only language they could hear if they find out that you kidnap the France embassy and cut about his two hands and put him in prison. That's the time. That's the only language that France will understand. Why are you wasting time? Niger militaries. Don't waste time. You go and cut water from France embassy house. You cut water and light. That is not a problem. The guy can still survive. Kidnap the guy, put him in prison and cut his two hands and his two legs. That will be a story for France. And France will never disagree with any country when they said leave. Because they will think about what Niger did to that other man. France embassy in Niger should be murdered. No more question. No, I'm the one who said it. If France, if they don't like it, let them come and arrest me. I'm in error. Do I hide myself? But the fact is the fact. If you arrest me, put me in prison, I will still come out and say the same fact. I don't care who you are. You have murdered many Africans, so I'm not afraid to be murdered by the West. Since they have murdered millions of Africans, billions of Africans. Nobody is calling them murderers. Nobody is calling them thieves. Nobody is calling them criminals. But we are still clapping for them. Clapping for them. You have murdered Mohammed Gaddafi, assassinated John Pombe Magufuli, assassinated Thomas Sankara, assassinated many great Africans. So today when you assassinated me, you think I'm going to be afraid or I'm going to be disappointed? Or I'm going to be surprised? Good. So someone commented, do not pay too much attention to that. You know, many people will not understand one thing, my fellow Africans. I always want Africans to understand that way. My life, your life, everyone's lives is in the hand of God. He is the only one who can take your life. When you fear to speak out the truth, you will die as a coward and in a shameful death. Believe me. So if you want to speak the truth or you want to stand for Africa, notice that death is your best friend. Prison is your paradise. I have always said it. If you want to speak for Africa and you want to fight for Africa, death should be your best friend. Prison should be your paradise. Remember this. When you always think about death, think like death is my friend or who I move with every day. So I'm not afraid. And remember this, that prison is a paradise. So it's normal thing to take me there. It's paradise. But when you are afraid of these two things, you can never speak for Africa because you will, even if you speak for Africa, you will always speak in fear. and you will never want to. There will be some truth. You will put them inside you. You will not tell it to your peoples because you will be afraid that they may come for you. I told peoples, they came for me here 3 times. That is not moving me. West came for me 3 times. It's not moving me, and it is not taking me back. It gives me more energy to go to do more. You came for me once, I do more. They came for me twice, I do more. 3 times, I do more. And if they want again, let them come, and I will still do more. And there is no court in these European countries here that where they will take me, and I will not win. You can't take me if you want. Take me to any judgment. I don't care. I know the law. Once I learn about European law, not only European law, but the country I live, I learn about their law, not to go against the law of the media, the law that go, the media law in this place. And I have to know the media law. If I don't learn about the media law, I may do mistake somewhere, and it's their law. They may use their law against me. So I try to learn their law and know what is the defenses of their law, what will go against their law, what will not go against their law, what is the media law. And as to become someone to fight for Africa, I have to speak so many things, so many secrets. Are they against the law or are they not against the law? So I find out a laws where to be safe, a laws that I should run away from, and a laws that I should not run away from. So I learn law, and I always study law, and I still I study law. Still, I study law, because that is the only thing the West will not get you. The only way that you can deal with the West and you live among them, they can't get you. To protect yourself with their own laws they make. Their own laws that they make. Take it and protect yourself. They create those laws for their citizens, and we, as far as you live in the West, use the same law on you. So the same law they created, you take it, protect yourself with the same law. Nobody will come for you. Even if they come for you, they take you, they will leave you immediately. You can never spend even 2 hours in their hand. Because if you spend 2 hours, then you may go court with them. You may ask them to pay a huge amount of money. Nobody. If I'm adjusting the law of Europe, nobody. But right now, I have been doing this job since 2015. Calculate it. It's from 2015 to 2023. How many years? This is what I do. To fight for Africa, speak for Africa. I have already put my hand on the deck, on my soul on the deck. Just speaking like a dead man. I'm not just in the grave, but I'm already dead, because I don't think like I'm alive. So I'm not thinking about death or prison. The only place that is, I already make it to my country president. If he want, I will let the West pay him. If I came to my country, let him lock me up. I don't give a damn about that. But if he lock me up, that will be ending of his regime. I'm the one who make it very clear to my president. And that is the fact. If any day you lock me up for no reason, then I will tell you, Mr. President, that will be end of your regime in that country. If the West one, let them pay you if I come to Gambia, and I will still go to Gambia. I'm not afraid to go to Gambia. I was in Gambia last year, and this year again I will go to Gambia. I cannot be afraid for fighting for my peoples. To speak for myself is a problem. This is a big shame on African leaders sometimes when I think, how can African leaders trying to protect the West? You know? African leaders are trying to protect the West. You know, if you speak against the West will not come for you, but they will push your own leader to lock you up. They will say, lock him up. It's your citizen, lock him up. They are ordering you to lock your own good citizen up. It's not a terrorist, it's not a criminal, it's just a freedom fighter. They will order an African leader, lock him up, he's your citizen, or kill him. But terrorists are in your country who are employed by the West. They are never telling you fight against the terrorists. They are never supplying you weapon to fight against the terrorists they create in Africa. But they are supplying African leaders a weapon fight against the good ones. Kill them. This is why always when we have one good person that we all shout, oh, he's a great man, one time he go back, they kill him. Muhammad Gaddafi, a great man, back, they kill him. By using his own peoples, they kill him. Now we have no one. Now who do we have? No one. No one on the table. The only thing that we are doing now, what is it? Military coup. What do they do? Instead of to supply Africans a weapon to fight against the terrorists in Niger, they supply the puppet leaders in Africa a weapon to fight against Niger military. So you see, they don't want progress. Anybody who came out in Africa and want to bring progress in Africa, they pay the stupid leaders. They pay them and supply them with weapon to kill their fellow brother. They are giving you a weapon. Go and kill your brother because he is too good and he is too intelligent. Kill him. You too, you wake up, kill your brother because he is too intelligent. But you have people who are terrorizing, who are doing criminal act, and those people are being paid by the West, and you know it very clear. But they are never giving you a weapon, fight against the terrorists or fight against the criminals. But they are giving you a weapon, kill your brother because he's too good. He's fighting for the freedom too much. Kill him. But none of you, the Africans, have ever supplied the West with a weapon to kill someone who is good for them. They will never do it. Send a weapon to France and tell them to remove Macron, if they will do it. African leaders, join together, send weapon to Germany and tell them to remove their chancellor, if they will remove him. But they are ordering you people today, up and down. Let me tell you one thing about that Germany you don't know. Germany, if you want to see the world wicked country, it's Germany. Germany have already emptied Africa. Take what they want. Since they have the Berlin conferences that they call the Berlin conference, I call it Congo conference. And say Africa in the Berlin conferences. Say Africa. No, Italy you take here. Oh, France you take here. Germany will take here. Oh, America will take here. We take here. They say Africa like they are the owner of Africa. They are sharing us. That's where it happened in the Berlin conference that they call the Berlin conference. I call it Congo conference. Because all those conferences, every conference, 75% of the conference they do in Berlin at that time, it was because of Congo. Because of the resources in Congo. We have more than 3 big companies today in Germany still operating, still manufacturing resources. The resources are from Congo. 3 big companies, we still have them in Germany, and they are still operating and they are still manufacturing resources. Those resources are from Congo. In Germany. My people, but you see what happened? That German today is deporting every country. That same Germany in 2019 to 2020, that same Germany, you know what that same Germany was doing? That same Germany was kidnapping African mothers, their children, was kidnapping children from African mothers, and took those children and gave it to one old lady. So those black children, they grow in the hand of an old lady and they become slaves to the old lady. They didn't even know their mother, not to talk of their culture, not to talk of where their family came from. This is happening in Germany. Believe me, Germany was doing this. And still, I think Germany is still doing the same thing. Do you know what they tell me when I investigate the matter? They said they took those children from their parents because their parents couldn't take care of them. I said, but those parents who are taking their children from them, are they not living in your emergency camps, in your immigration camps? They say yes. I said, so you couldn't take care of the immigrations you accept in your country. You couldn't take care of. Not because the mothers cannot take care of their children. You couldn't take care of the immigrants you accept in your country and taking money from EU, pretending that you are helping those people or you are taking care of them. This was my message. You know, my brothers and sisters, there are so many things why I abandoned Germany, why I don't like Germany, and why I don't want to stay in Germany. There are many reasons behind it. I said it last time that if I go to Germany to base there within 3 months, you will hear that I am dead. I will be assassinated very fast. So I know what is in Germany, and I know very well. If I'm in Germany 3 months, I will be assassinated. Germany have planned a lot against me. They never succeed. But I never want to make it as an allegation, since no clear evidences. But I tell you, if I base in Germany within 3 months, I will be assassinated. That's why that country I don't like to be there. I may go there. I go there sometimes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and go and move on. But I can't live in that country to stay permanently. Yeah, by the grace of God, my brother. By the grace of God. So Germany was taking their children from them. and giving those children to the old ladies. They are all mamas in the house who cannot move. So when those black children got to 8 years, those black children, they never even take them to school. They remain with those old women to keep on taking care of those old women. Cooking for them, cleaning the house, just like a slave, washing their clothes. This is what Germany is still doing. And don't think of the EU is not aware what Germany is doing to our sisters in Germany. EU is aware of it. That Germany is using our sisters' sons or their daughters in Germany to take it away from their mothers. Take them away from their mothers and give those children to one old German lady, 80 years or 90 years. So that those children, when they grow up a little bit, they become a slave in that house. The only thing they do is cleaning. They never even go to school. They never take them to school. They didn't take them from their parents to take them to give them better life. They said they took them away from their parents because their parents are not taking care of them. But that is a bloody lie that Germany's government is emphasizing in the world. That is a bloody lie. I am the one who said the German chancellor is lying. To say that they took these black women, their children from them because they couldn't take care of their children. That is a bloody lie. The only way they were taking these children from them because they need a black slave for their all white German citizens. They are all asses German women who are all have 80 years or 90 years, can't move. So they took those black children to those apartments, and when they grow there, they become slaves to those old asses. And this is the fact that Germany is hiding. And I have investigated not once, not twice, not 3 times, more than 5 times I've investigated this matter. And I find out that Germany is taking our black sisters, their children from them, and giving them to their old ass women in Germany to take care of. So those black children become slaves when they are even 8 years, 7 years. They are already doing slave job for German old woman asses. I'm the one who said it. Come on. I have so many evidence against them of this. This is rubbish. And we have black peoples in Germany who pretend that they speak for their fellow black peoples. We have them there. We have black peoples in Germany, our fellow black peoples, who said they are immigration activists, immigration this. What do you do for your fellow blacks? You were conniving with German citizens, with German government to torment your fellow black people life in Germany. You think we don't know? We know all of you in this media, and I have seen all of you, how you operate. A black destroying black. A black is between black and white and destroying his own fellow black. Instead of to join his fellow black to destroy the white, he's destroying the white to destroy his fellow black. We have black peoples in Germany, more of them, who call themselves the immigration activists. They talk for immigrants, they do this, they translate for immigrants. They are the bad ones in Germany. They are the devils we have. They are the puppets we have in Europe. We have them in Italy. We have them in France. Any country you go that accepted migrants, do you know what they do? They find someone who they can use against his own fellow black peoples. And they have it. They have it. If you go to Italy, you go to Questura, you meet some black peoples there. Not all of them, but you meet some peoples there. Some black peoples working with the Italian police. Do you know how many people they negative because of their own fellow black who is working with the police in Italy? Do you know how many people? Your black is not good. Black kill black. Black destroy black. Just because he think like after destroying his fellow black, he will prosper. And at the end of the day, he will realize that I destroy my fellow black, but I will not also prosper. Because that same white who make you to betray your fellow black, to destroy your fellow black, that same white will come and betray you. You think they are going to let you to prosper? God. Many our blacks, Africans were deported from Germany. A lot of the deportations were caused by our own fellow blacks who are there. For example, many Gambians were deported because they were identified by their fellow Gambians. So you see how black destroy black. You see how black man is ready to destroy his own fellow black. But black man is never ready to join his fellow black and destroy the enemy of black man. I think about this so much. I think about it every day. Why is it that for a black to join black is a crime? But black always want to betray a black. If you remember the slave of Gambia, Kunta Kinte, who was kidnapped by his fellow blacks and given to America to make him a slave as by his own fellow blacks. Kunta Kinte was a Gambian, a slave, in slavery time. Kunta Kinte was kidnapped, was captured by his own fellow black and given to Americans. Many more like that were destroyed by their own. Kunta Kinte was the best runner. He can run, he is strong. White people cannot catch him. They have trapped him every time. They couldn't catch him. The only way they realized this in the slavery time, the only way to destroy a black man, send his fellow black man to him. This strategy, they took it from the slavery time. In the slavery time, when they tracked Kunta Kinte, they couldn't catch him. They sent his fellow blacks to catch him. His fellow blacks run away, go to him, catch him, and bring him and chain him and give him to the white peoples. The same thing is happening in Germany right now. Since our own fellow black brothers were the one joining white people to steal the children from black mothers and give it to all white women who cannot walk, cannot cook, cannot take bath, cannot even clean her own house by herself because she is too old, and all her children run away from her. That's what is happening in Germany. Do you think those old women in Germany who they give our black children to, do you think those old women, they don't have children? They have children. Their children abandon them. Their children feel like, oh, mama should die now. You don't have to use. So they have to go and take a black child from their mother in Germany and give those black child to that old woman. That black child will become slave. If they said they are taking the black children from the African mothers because the African mothers couldn't take care of the black child, I think the only thing they could do, if they took those black children, they should take them to school to learn, to have a better future. That should be it, like that. It should be like that. But they are not doing that. They are taking these black children from their mothers in Germany and giving them, refusing them to go to school. They don't take them to school. They don't teach them anything. They just took them to, the only thing they know how to do is cleaning, cooking, doing slavery work for the white old ladies in Germany. I have multiple videos where white children, black children, it was working with a white old woman living in one place very far away even from the city. They took that black child from one Nigerian girl and gave the child to one old woman very far from the city, staying alone. That black child, you know, that white old woman, that German white old woman is always beating that child. A white woman can never beat her own child, but as far as it's a black child they give to her, then means it's a slave, and he will beat the child anyhow. In Europe, who beat the child? Can a white woman who have her own child, can she beat her own child who was just 7 years? But because it's a black child, somebody said I should adjust my volume. Because it's a black child. That's why that white old woman in Germany was staying very far away from the city, staying alone somewhere. When they took the black child from the mother in the city, they took the child to that place. The child is there with this white old woman, this German white old woman, beating the child every day, telling the child to tear the wood, because it was in cold time, right? So he was giving this ass to the child to tear the wood for her to go to the room, and so that she will not feel cold, she can make firewood in the room. God help Africans. God help Africa. The only time that we have is now. Now we have many peoples waking up in Africa. Now we have Africans getting the mindset of liberating themselves. So I think this is the only right time for Africans to come together as one and let's unite. Not only to speak in media and say we must unite, but we must unite in mindset, in brains, in heart, and in physics when we see each other anytime. We must be united anywhere we are. It doesn't matter you are in Africa or you are not in Africa. We must be united. The volume is not good. I think I have some problem with the volume, but you know, I think I have some topic also to emphasize on LGBTQ. I think if I mention this, it become a problem in the world. LGBTQ. The only government that can accept LGBTQ is a government that want to get rid of you and destroy you and finish you all. LGBTQ, a man and a man cannot make a child. Woman and woman cannot make a child. So who the hell will tell you that by doing man and man or doing woman to woman is good for your life? Don't you want to have a generation? Who want to live all your life without having backup? So when they bring LGBT, it's a problem. So your generations will be over soon as possible if Africa go into the LGBTQ. Let me tell you one thing. The LGBTQ was planned by the American government. There is no doubt about that. And the way they plan it, I have some secret message, some secret was leaked to me. Was like, there are countries that American government have mentioned to put LGBTQ because they said those countries, their population is too much. And Nigeria was among. When they mentioned Nigeria, I was like, wow. The countries that are increasing, their population is increasing so fast. So they want to put LGBTQ in those places so fast. So that LGBTQ could damage the population of growing. Because you know why? The population, majority cannot be controlled. The West is tired of, they can't control the majority. Why the West still don't take over Nigeria? They have been fighting. They couldn't still take over Nigeria because their majority is too much. Nigerian majority is too much. And they become stubborn at that matter. So the only way to destroy is to reduce the population. And how to reduce this population? They bring, oh, you don't have to even sleep with your own wife when your wife say no. You have to use condoms sometimes with your wife. They bring all those systems into our brain. If you go to Africa now, many African people, sometimes they are sleeping with their wives. They say, everybody say, I want to be like white man. In every 5 years, I want to have one child. That is not your culture. Your father have a child every 2 years. You came, you say in every 1 year you want to have, in every 5 years you want to have one child. How is that possible? How is that possible? But they bring those systems to us, you know. Now, do you know, even in Gambia, I think they made a law in Gambia. That is a very sad law in Gambia. And that message will go to Gambians. Gambian women especially, because I think the government approved a law whereby women, your own husband should not have the right to touch you when you don't ask the husband to touch you. When the husband forced to sleep with you, that means the husband raped you, and when they take you to court, when the wife go to court, they will arrest the husband for raping. Gambia, can't you see your president, how ignorant he is? And he is leading you, the Gambian girls, to mess up your life. You think someone will marry you? When I know already what your government plan. When I know already your government is into gayism and lesbianism. You think I'm going to be in support of that? And you think many women are proud of it. Many women are proud of it. And a woman says that is good, so that they will decide when their mans will sleep with them. Come on, that is not Africa. That is a white man style. White man culture they bring to us to reduce the population. Because they know nowadays in Africa, our guys don't want to have child. They just want to be having fun in sex, in all these kind of things. They want to be having fun, but they don't want to have child. And not having a child, it will become a distraction for Gambia. For the whole Africa to reduce our population. Our African population is too big. That's why the West still couldn't control over Africa. They couldn't control Africa because the population is growing too fast. And they have to reduce it. The only way to reduce it is LGBTQ and give more right to the women. That's what is happening to Africa right now. Women have more right. I don't say women shouldn't have right. Because some stupid woman may come and say, so you mean women should not have right? No. Women should have, the women have their right. Men have their part. So in this world, women have their part to play and men have their part to play. But woman, remember, you are not a controller. Woman is not born to be a controller. Man is born to be a ruler. Woman is never born to be a ruler or to decide for man. You may, as a woman, with your husband, you may discuss with your husband. You may bring ideas together. It's very normal. But woman is not born to say, I am the ruler. Whatever I say will stand. And man should listen. No, woman is the listener. And man is the decision maker. When any woman mistakenly go against through this path, you will destroy your future, your children's future. It's not a lie. You will destroy your own future. Because you will affect your own life and affect your children's life. Because number one, a woman who controls her own husband, let me tell you what happened. Your children can never be who you want them to be. They will be very useless. You will say, who do me? My children are never benefiting me. My children are not even making it. They become criminal, terrorists, this, that. Who do me? Who do my children? No, nobody do your children. You do yourself. Since you try to control over your man, you have to decide for your man. You make your man feel afraid because you become lion. A woman should respect your husband. A husband should respect a woman. Everybody have their role to play. A woman, you have your role in marriage to play. A man have his own role to play in marriage. So this system they are bringing in Africa, I don't know if it is in other African countries, but in Gambia, the system is there now. Like woman have to decide when the man will sleep with her. Your own wife, she have to decide when you will sleep with her and when you will not. It's in Gambia right now. So this system should not let our women to destroy themselves, especially to Gambia, because I know right now this system is going to Gambia. A woman, they said, a woman have to decide. When a woman doesn't decide and a husband, you force your wife, you sleep with her, that means it's a rape case in Gambia. The government is going mad and crazy, and they are senseless and ignorant, and the citizens, the foolish women also are following. I don't know either any woman who is older than me or not older than me, but as far as you are a woman in Gambia who is supporting this rubbish, I said you are a fool and you don't understand what you are doing. Do you think we are out here for prostitution? That rubbish will not happen in Gambia. And I'm not going to be part of that rubbish in Gambia. And I'm going to go against that rubbish. Any woman behind it. Any woman behind that rubbish in Gambia, I'm going to go against it. And that woman, any woman behind it, my message should get to them. Any woman behind that rubbish in Gambia, I have respect for women, but any woman behind this rubbish in Gambia, I will not have no respect for you. And when I come for you, you will not like me. You and both the government, I don't care about both of you. What I care about is the future of the Gambia. And we are not going to allow a woman to advise the president what to do. A common woman walking on the street, a common prostitute walking on the street. You have to go to our state house to tell the president what should happen, what woman should be, what woman should do. So the president is now putting this as a law. A prostitute on the street will leave the street and come to the president and say, hey, we the women want to decide when our husbands will sleep with us. And the president is making it as a law in the Gambia. May God help us. Guys, I will leave you guys here. May God bless you all for wasting your precious times to watch me, to be with me here and share your beautiful comments with me. May God bless you all. May God save us all. May God save us from the bad leaders, and may God save us from our enemies. May God always bless us. May God give us good health and long life. May God save us from our enemies. Whatever our enemies plan against us shall never prosper. May God save Africa from the enemies. May God make all our wishes to come true. Whatever we are dreaming of, may God make it easier for us. And all the hustlers out there hustling in another man's land, may God make the hustle easier for us. May God give us whatever we are finding in another man's land. May God give us successful, progressive lives journey. May God save us from the enemy's harm words. God bless you all, guys. Thank you so much.